Hello, welcome to Towing the Rubber. I am Jonny Clumpy, and this is Devon Alsman. We are ready for a new intro today, as I got promoted over Devon this week. First time doing the intro for the show. But Devon, I'm just going to toss it right to you as your story, as we are mourning the passing of NFL Hall of Famer Steve McMichael. Even though this is a baseball show, he actually has an iconic baseball story in Chicago sports, and we're both Cubs fans, and you would like to share. So.
Yeah, I didn't watch much football, and I didn't know much about him as a player. And he did this before I watched baseball. But I've seen the clip of when he was doing the seventh inning stretch for Chicago Cubs because he was a Cubs fan, obviously. And Angel Hernandez was the home plate umpire, and I think even Brendan knows who Angel Hernandez is, and his baseball knowledge is kind of vague. He's the worst umpire that we've seen, and he's gone now, retired. That is publicly known.
Okay, I was like, there's one more that's
There's
really
some
bad
ones, but like everyone knows Angel Hernandez.
Yeah.
And so he was having an Angel Hernandez game behind the plate, and Steve goes ahead and during 7-inning stretch, after going through the song, obviously, he then says, I want to have a talk with that home plate umpire after I'll go down there and have a talk with the home plate umpire. And the camera, the producers for the game, perfectly. They have a shot of Angel Hernandez looking up at it, and it's just in the disgusted face possible. Like he's fuming and just looking up at the press boxes. And Steve McMichael is just laughing. And it is a great moment for just Chicago in general. So
yeah, I'd never heard of that before, but thank you for bringing that to our attention. So, but you're the one who has the segments today, so I will let you.
We're obviously going to just start off. I'll just turn on right now with Chicago Cubs. We'll start off with them. That's our guarantee. We'll always talk about the Cubs. They go ahead and sweep the Los Angeles Dodgers
I also
this
have
week.
a question. I say, can we just change the segment to best team in baseball?
I can change that right now. I got you.
We don't call it the Cubs. We call it best team. I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
No, I got you.
Sorry, I did not introduce him. Brendan Gagan is our producer back there. He is livid about me saying that.
No, I'm not livid. I'm just like blown
There
away.
you go. Fixed it. Best team in baseball. Talk.
Whoa.
That's the new.
Whoa. Get that off my screen right now.
And our producer doesn't know how to change it, so he can shut it off, but that's petty. But he doesn't know how to change it, so.
But okay, not actually. There are three better teams than the Cubs in baseball right now. I know record-wise, not actually the best, but I think just
They're better than the Dodgers. How's that?
Can we claim that? Like, if we did power rankings today, would it be unfair to put the Cubs ahead of the Dodgers at this moment in time?
No.
You win the
We
season.
won
You win
the
the season
seasons,
series. You
and we're 4 for 5.
Four of the last five in the last month. Tokyo series doesn't count. Tokyo series doesn't count. Too long ago, and the Cubs were dealing with jet lag still during those games. So still won the season series though somehow.
We also had some Japanese players up, but like it was the Dodgers, like the Ohtani, Yamamoto. Like that, it was the It was in Japan, but like that was the Dodgers like home advantage over the Cubs as well. So, but there was some PCA chants, which was cool.
This is the goat.
But speaking of PCA,
Chants too. They chanted it last night.
They chanted last night.
He
hit
caught the final out.
Well, that and a 3-run go-ahead shot made it 3-2 for the Cubs, and it was a back-and-forth battle, and the Cubs are able to get 7. Dodgers are only able to get 6. Porter Hodge strikes out Shohei Ohtani with a nasty sweeper.
And the bullpen was shut down yesterday.
Nails.
We didn't allow a run. Daniel Palencia pitched against the best lineup in baseball, and we didn't allow a run. So, my goodness.
Brendan figured out how to change it. Oh, my God.
But Matthew Boyd.
It's not like I'm a producer or anything like that.
I texted you. So they left
I was
Matthew.
happy.
They left Matthew Boyden in
I
the
s-
6th inning after he'd already given up 5 runs, and it wasn't like a Shota where they were 5 unearned. Like
No,
he had
they,
earned all 5.
they actually were. He only had 2 earned
Really?
due to his own error.
What?
Yeah. A ball was hit back to him. He overthrew second base. And due to that, that is still an error that caused it to be unearned, even though it was his own error, which I think is dumb. I think if a pitcher makes like a easy error, it should be earned runs still. Because it was hit right back at him, and he overthrew second. He pulled a common pitcher thing, but it's not. It's unacceptable.
That's funny.
But yeah, I watched the recap and I saw exactly what you saw.
He
that
literally
was
he
left
comes in
just
and
a
allows
inning longer.
a Pages homer. It's
I think it's because Presley was out, so they had to They had to pull back guys. So that's why Palencia was the 7th.
yeah, because I was
Merriweather
like,
was the 8th.
I was like, Hodge was
Hodge was
the
the
9th. I was like,
It's because Ryan Presley had his right knee drained, apparently Monday, and
Well,
hopefully should be back Friday.
when I saw it happen, I was like, oh,
Yeah,
they
so that's why-
finally made the change, and then I saw
No.
Presley didn't pitch, and I was like, okay, well,
Yeah, it's because Presley's knee got drained. So apparently that's just like a basic thing, and he'll be back Friday.
yeah, I think so.
I
It's
didn't
just like,
know
they
you could
have
just.
like too much like, I forget what like the actual thing going on is, but yeah.
But apparently he'll be back Friday. But so Pete, I think, is going to be your in Atlanta, July 15th, starting center fielder.
Yeah, the Cubs are gonna have 2 starting outfielders,
We'll have 2 starting outfielders.
maybe 3 if
We
Ian Happ
could.
can start
Who's
hitting.
the left? Who's left field in NL? Actually, Tatis might beat Tucker.
Oh, but they voted on outfield, right? Isn't it just outfield and not? Don't you just vote 3 outfielders and not by position?
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it is because
it
you
is.
vote like
and they'll
Trout.
figure it out.
Oh yeah, we got 3 then. It's gonna be Tatis. Corbin Carroll's not gonna get more votes because we're in Chicago. We get more fan base pull. So as long Kyle Tucker keeps it up.
Pete, Tucker, and Tatis.
That's my optimal.
So
starting.
who's going left? Which one of those? Probably
Tatis.
Tucker.
Probably Tatis. He's the better overall defender and is used to playing more positions. Like he's played left before, I
I
think.
guess. Okay.
He played center at one point.
But yeah, so but either way, and then Hap also might, if he keeps doing what he's been this last like couple games.
2 games.
It's like 5. Like he raised his average by like 50 in like the last 10 games. By the way, so but like we could have 3 of our outfielders going in the All-Star game.
Yeah, let's say going to the All-Star
We will
game.
have no pitching going in the All-Star game.
Hey, Porterage.
We will have no. He ruined his ERA. That's
Yeah,
what they
but
look
if
at.
like
It's
if he
he
can
ruined it.
contain it, if he is the Porter Hodge that outside of
But
the
he's also not
Diamondbacks
going to
sort.
be getting saves.
True.
So I wish,
Shota.
not unless he changes what he's doing.
He was an All-Star last year.
I know, but his expected ERA is in the mid 4s and his FIP is in the 5s. So like he's getting really lucky.
Yeah.
So unless he changes that, he's not going to be an All-Star because right now he's not looking great.
Well, the wind was blown out the other day.
Well, I'm just saying with expected ERA and everything,
Yeah.
he's getting lucky. He's walking more guys. He's not getting whiffs. And you both said that he's the ace of the Cubs. So
Steele was actually giving up runs. So
well, he was hurt. I'm saying last year, but Pete, here's really quick why we're saying Pete. Total WAR based on Fangraphs. It goes Aaron Judge, who's hitting over 400 still, by the way. Corbin Carroll, who's stealing bases, good defense, and is hitting homers now. And then Pete Crow Armstrong. He passed up Tatis yesterday.
Really?
In WAR. Yep. So, yeah, I believe so. Yeah. So he passed up Tatis. And then Tatis is 4. Kyle Tucker's tied for 4th with Tatis at 1.7.
So we have the best outfield in baseball.
We do. Our Pirates producer is crashing out
Okay,
because he doesn't have a
let's
offense.
walk through it.
Let's walk through it. Who has a better outfield? You can throw Yankees into the table, but Bellinger's not been hitting, and Jason Dominguez is nowhere near Hap or Pete.
Trust me, I would know.
So
I pulled his MLB The Show pipeline card 500 times
So
this year.
Yankees are out. Padres, they have two guys that are really good, but they don't have a left fielder. We at least have a round all-star tier left fielder.
Who's your outfield? Can you name your three guys for me?
Hap.
Pico Armstrong, who's third in F4. Kyle Tucker in right field, who's fourth in F4.
Ian Happ, who's
And
won
Ian
3
Happ.
straight Gold Glove.
Has won 3. He's gonna win 4 because nobody plays defense in left field.
And is like an all-star tier, or just below all-star tier outfielder, and has been an all-star. So the Padres have two great guys, Merrill and Tatis, but they have no one in left. They have like Hayward, SpongeBob, like it is just.
What are you confused about?
Jason Hayward was on the team that brought your team
I don't
a championship.
think you know how much I hate Jason Hayward.
Oh my God.
He
Do
was
you hate
bad.
Jason
He
Hayward?
was bad.
I hate Jason Hayward, and we might. I think we'll talk about it at the end. Dansby Swanson's getting to that point.
Hey,
Whoa.
He gave the post-game speech though in the 10th inning of during the rain delay. Jason Hayward gave the speech.
I know.
Tied the Cubs up.
I
So-
can't. I can get paid nothing to do a speech as well, Johnny. So
No, we paid him $160 million for that
for a
10th inning.
speech,
The
I'll
rain
do it for
delay
free.
speech and won the World Series. That's
do
what
it
we.
for free.
Hey, won multiple Gold Gloves.
So is Swanson, but Swanson is getting to that point where it's like Jason Hayward, like, and starting to aggravate me.
Okay, we'll get to it later.
You were a Cubs fan you started being a Cubs fan in 2021. How do you hate Jason Hayward?
Cause he played in 2021 for the Cubs still, so I saw him play, and it was.
He was
horrible.
never really good in Chicago. Like his best year was like 2016, where he was like
I think it
not
was
living up to the
Yeah,
contract.
16 or 17, and then
Where'd he come from? Atlanta?
Carter.
I thought he started in Atlanta, went to St. Louis.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, so he played for our rivals, and then came here, and then sucked. So, and he's getting to that point. But we're back to the better outfield. Can you name a better outfield than the Cubs? Because you're apparently saying they're not the best outfield. And we're saying Padres and Yankees aren't. You got anyone else?
We're talking right now. Right?
Yeah, right now. Because you crashed out, Brendan.
The Diamondbacks have Carroll, but Alec Thomas can't hit.
McCarthy's not hitting, so they're out. They just don't.
You're just going off of stuff like right now, that like guys who aren't hitting right now.
Yeah, but even then, like Alec Thomas isn't that good of a player. Like,
Yeah, I know, but
he's
then like
never
the
hit.
Yankees, like Cody Bellinger like can hit, but like he's in a slump
Cody-
right now. So you guys are ruling him out because
We're
he's
not
in
ruling
a slump
him
for like
out,
a
but
week.
It's like okay,
But-
so they have Aaron Judge, who's the best player in baseball.
And then
Yeah.
say Cody Bellinger hits, they still. Jason Dominguez is one of the worst defensive left fielders, if not the worst.
And
then he's
the odds that he like hits like he's been projected to are low because he hasn't really done that
Yeah.
yet. Dude,
Well,
he's still like 22.
Why don't you just ever stick him in your lineup and try to like get him to a parallel 5?
why are we talking
We're
about
talking about
MLB
major.
The Show?
Talk
We're talking
about-
about real life.
I know.
I hate that card. I
I
have
know.
in parallel 1, I think, maybe 2. I hate that card. It was the first diamond I pulled, and I was so annoyed. I was like, oh, I pulled a diamond. Then you look at his
Hey.
stats, and his stats are bad.
Don't.
Like he's got like silver hitting.
He's a Pirates fan. He's delusional. Just-
Okay, stop. He's got like silver hitting and only showing like bronze defense, and he's somehow a diamond.
Meanwhile,
It's like,
he's saying the Cubs are gonna win the World Series, and
no
I'm the
one
one
said
who's
that.
delusional.
No one said.
Why could have wrong too with me?
Yeah, I don't think.
No one said that.
I don't think I said
They're the
that.
third best team in baseball.
But
They're the third or fourth best team in baseball.
He's the best team in baseball.
Oh, they beat the yeah, they split the Padres. Mind you, they don't have to play the Diamondbacks, Padres, or Dodgers the rest of the year. They came out with a winning record against those teams. They beat the Rangers in a series.
do we have one record? Yeah, we do against all of them. So yeah, we have to tiebreak. We have tiebreakers now.
Not over the Padres though. We split.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that works.
3-3.
They-
So then it goes
That's
to like
the season series though.
yeah,
There's more games left.
the Padres are done.
The Padres.
Padres don't.
Padres,
They
Diamondbacks, and
changed the
Dodgers are
schedule
done.
to you play every division now. So you play every team in the majors.
I thought there was 9 games.
No, because it used to be like you'd only play one division from the opposite league. Now it's everybody, so they have less like games to go around. So to fill in, so like the outside of like your division rivals, who you still play a little bit less, but outside the division rivals, like the rest of the NL, you play like one less series against to open up.
Which
spots
I
for.
don't like. Especially since the AL is just a dumpster fire right now.
Okay, I do though, because it's like it's good for the game because, like, you would go 3 years without watching a team play. Like if you're a fan of a certain team.
Yeah, like the Orioles and Cubs like did not play for like
Yeah.
2-3 years.
Yeah, like they wouldn't. You go 2 to 3 years like without playing.
But still, it's like speaking of Orioles and just AL in general is a dumpster fire right now. Like it's just not good. But are we just going to hold off on the Swanson stuff?
Yeah,
We'll give
we
him a
can.
bit because he hit a little yesterday.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's Jason Hayward yet. Like I mean,
Well, we got a month. We got a month.
I
So
mean,
we'll see. We'll give him a little bit more time. Injuries.
what are the major ones? I don't really like.
Well, Blake Snell is he was on the IL, but now he's stopping his throwing program. I have him in fantasy. And so he's stopping right now. And so the Dodgers will keep having bullpen games. Doesn't matter to us anymore, but
Yeah,
Just
it's funny
saying.
because it's like kind of scary too. It's like, do you even want to play the Dodgers in a bullpen game?
I mean, better than Blake Snell.
That's true. Better than Blake Snell or Yamamoto or Kershaw or Glasnow.
Yeah, Kershaw should be back.
or Sasaki.
by the way,
or Dustin
he-
May.
Jack
Just name the entire
Jack
staff.
Caglione got 2 hits off Kershaw yesterday.
Really?
So,
So Cagliano's
and
in
he's a
Triple
lefty,
A?
by the way.
Cagliano's all the way in Triple A.
I
Triple A.
believe so. So yeah, Caglianone's pretty good. Stanton's swinging a bat now, because he's out with both problems in his elbows. So
Due to
he's
the torpedo bat, because he was using it last year. Unknown though to the public.
that's true. Corey Seager's now on the IL with a strained hamstring, so that's expected. He's always on the IL for at least like 40 days of a season. Jack Leiter's coming back from a blister, so he should be back soon. Also, I don't understand why he needed a rehab assignment for a blister. Like, I don't know. I haven't had to deal with that. Ketel Marte, hopefully he's coming back soon. There's no timetable for return yet. Cuna's still out through at least April. Strider's back on the IL. Have him in fantasy. Same league. I got Snell and Strider just riding my IL. He's on the IL with strained hamstring grade 1, so it's the least bad. Javier Saad made his last rehab start, quote unquote, because he ended his rehab start grabbing his oblique again. So he's probably not going to be back. He tweaked it again. So, and we know Just Steele's not coming back for this year. So Chris Bryant, there's no timetable for his return, but he's hoping
He's
to come
not
back.
retiring. That's the news I saw, which because people thought he would, because it's like not a very good injury.
Entire Dodgers pitching staff is on there. Every guy that's on the IL for Dodgers is a pitcher. By the way, so just looking at that,
Really? So Freeman's back.
Yeah.
Yeah, Freeman's back.
and then
Freeman's just playing through.
Brandon
injury,
Woodruff will probably be back soon, if not for the Cubs series. Of course, that'll be his first start in a year. Will be against.
We'll rake against him. It's fine.
Okay.
Well, where's it at? Is it Wrigley or Milwaukee?
I
We
don't
play
know.
the Phillies this weekend.
We do. We didn't talk about that. We should win 2 out of 3. We should win 2 out of 3.
We're better than them, I think.
Raya's on concussion IL. And
I was about to say,
Giants are very healthy. They only have 3 guys on the IL.
Look at them.
Cardinals only have 2, but they just suck. So
Oh, also the Mets are the hottest team in baseball for no reason. They have won
Yeah, Giant didn't want to do power rankings because
not a lot would have changed. They've won 7 straight though.
we'll probably change things up in the fall, and what if we see stuff there and try to do power rankings.
Well, we can do it again this year. I was just like the
Yeah, I
week to
know.
week. It's like not a ton changes. Like your bottom doesn't change really at all, and then you'll have
I mean,
like,
I moved the Orioles back.
like the Mets would have jumped up. The Guardians would have the Mets would have jumped. The Guardians would have gone up a little bit.
I think a lot would have actually changed.
Yeah, but then it's like you're just like, but by next week all these teams
It would
could lose.
change
Like their
again.
streaks could lose. So it's just like makes it harder.
I also want to see. I did not pull up pitching war. If I could figure that out, I would like to see that, but I can't figure it out.
Probably Hunter Green at 1.
I don't know how to change it, so it's not going to matter. But I think next is Brendan. Got some buy and sell topics for us to talk about. So let's go ahead and.
I think I can get the pitcher war pulled up.
Are you guys ready?
Yep.
First buy or sell. Braves are a non-playoff team.
I gotta look at some things, but I'm most likely. I mean, they're 6-4 in the last 10. They're on pace for 91 wins after the 0-7 start.
No team has ever made the playoffs going 0-7. And I don't think the team will.
You want to know who your best pitcher war is?
Yamamoto.
No. You are not going to get this, I don't think. Like, I don't think his name's going to come to mind.
Mackenzie
Holy,
Gore.
this is an insane list.
Mackenzie Gore.
No. Do you want this top 10? This is the most insane list of names I think I've ever seen. Especially with how good, like, real pitchers have been. 1 is Logan Webb. 2 is Chris Bassett. Jesus Luzardo. Hunter Brown.
He's been good. He's been really good.
Hey, Paul Skeens is at 5 for pitching war. Nick Pivetta, Garrett Crochet,
He's been good.
Cole Reagans, Andrew Heaney. The Pirates
He's
have
been
2
really good.
pitchers in the top 5 pitching
Andrew
war.
Heaney's getting traded, and you will get a haul if he keeps pitching like this, by the way.
Also, Chris Bubik is at 10, and then
He's
you
been
were
good.
actually, if you were guessing 11 and 12, you would have been perfect. It's Gore and Yamamoto. No Cubs pitchers though.
Shocker. Almost like we don't have any.
Hunter Green's all the way at 26, and that just doesn't seem right.
Walked.
No, he's going like 8 innings into games and not allowing a run.
But I'm going to sell. Or wait, no. Buy. Yeah, it'd be buy. They're not making the playoffs.
I think the NL's too good. Is the problem?
They're too good, and they're 2-11 away. That's really bad.
I think the biggest thing is like, okay, to be fair, that like 7 of those are the Dodgers and Padres. So
They are at the Diamondbacks for 3. So that means
I
they're
think
away.
this series would be the tell. Like if they don't get it done here, like I don't see how
And then they play the Rockies.
because you gotta imagine because you gotta imagine it's the
Diamondbacks.
Cubs are in most likely. I mean the way they're playing, the Phillies and Mets are in. If the Phillies get yeah, like think about it, they have to jump the Phillies, and then would have to jump the.
They have to jump 4 NL West teams.
Well, okay, so you get 3, because one of them's gonna win the division.
3.
So you have
NL
the
West
division
teams.
winner, so probably the Dodgers. It'll probably even out end up being the Dodgers. I know the Padres are playing well, but you get Dodgers, Cubs, Mets now, I guess. I don't know.
It's Philly. Mets have a 5-game lead over Phillies because they swept Philly.
Yeah. So
Mets are 12-1 at home,
they are.
so they might be real.
Well,
They might
they're-
be real.
I mean, they're on a 7 game.
Cubs are 8-5 home and away. By the way, we're perfect. We're just consistent. Cardinals are 2-11 away as well.
Deep.
I just don't think the NL's too good.
The Rockies are 1-12.
Attaboys. I mean, their home record isn't good either. So.
It's not. It's 3-6. At least that's
Of course.
something. But I'm
selling.
buying.
Or buying.
Buying.
Yeah, the NL's too good this year.
So Brendan, what's the? Where were these from?
Trevor and Jake from Talking Baseball.
Okay.
Second one is Cubs, best team in NL Central.
Oh, bye.
Bye.
Knew this before the season, so
I think
would have bought it day one of this season.
Yeah. Trevor and Jake. By the way, Trevor is a Twins fan and Jake is a Yankees fan. So they're both AL. So they don't like. So that's why that's questions like more talking point for them. That's probably
we already
why.
talked about the Cubs.
Yeah, but
They have a winning record
Very
against the
odd.
top 3 of the top 4 teams in the best division in baseball. And
Do
I
you-
think we would beat the Giants in the
but
series.
so we both say buy. Brendan, are you buying or selling?
You don't want me to answer that
Are
question.
you buying or selling?
You don't want me to answer
Are you
that question.
buying or selling?
You don't want me to answer that
Answer.
question.
I want to
'Cause
see
I'm selling.
who's better in the NL
The
Central.
Better than NL Central.
You know who I'm gonna say.
They're fourth.
You know who I'm gonna say.
The Pirates?
It doesn't matter.
They're fourth.
It doesn't matter. I'm a Pirates fan. Live by the sword, you die by the sword.
You're good.
What do you expect?
The Cubs just came out of the worst starting starting schedule for any team in baseball.
And they're not out of it yet. They
And
get the
they
Phillies.
came out with a winning record.
And they're not out of it yet. They get the Phillies this week.
Phillies, Pirates,
And then they get to play the
Brewers.
Pirates.
Pirates, Brewers.
So they get a free
It
3
ends
wins.
with the Brewers. It ends with the Brewers. A stretch.
Three free wins, right, Johnny?
Yes.
A lo- yeah, your
Alright, when the Pirates
bullpen,
take
your
one 'cause
bullpen will
Skeens is
blow
gonna
it,
start
and your
against
offense
us.
can't. Your offense is one of the worst in the league.
Okay.
Why are you knocking my bullpen, Devon? All the time you knock the Cubs bullpen. You guys don't have a good bullpen.
We have better. We have at least have.
Well, yeah, your whole team's better than the
We have at
Pirates.
least one guy. We have at least 2
Our
guys.
closer hasn't fallen off.
Yeah, Presley's solid.
The lift of the earth.
And Porter Hodge is the best center man in baseball. I'm just
David-
kidding. I'm kidding. That's a lie. That's
David
a lie.
Bednar?
That's a lie. I don't actually believe that.
David Bednar.
You just hold David Bednar against me, don't you?
I do.
Every time you bring this up, don't
I
you?
do.
Don't you?
'Cause
So,
it's hilarious.
David Bednar and, you know, there's sometimes, even when I'm playing MLB, the show, and I just sit back and I think of what life was like when Felipe Vasquez was my closer.
Okay.
Well,
I don't even know who this
before all the bad things that we will not get into. But when he was
is. I
my
don't know
closer.
who this is.
Every time, Johnny. I still don't know what he did.
Stop! Don't we don't.
Okay.
No. Not Felipe. No Felipe Vasquez.
I don't even
On
know
the
who
show
this
today.
is.
No,
so,
no. Next tape.
Next.
Next by yourself.
All right.
No.
Orioles
No.
have worst starting pitching staff.
Let me.
I mean, like the White Sox. Like the White Sox.
I-
The
do you have the
Rockies is horrific.
points?
The Rockies is so bad.
I'm looking. I'm pulling up WAR right now. For Team WAR.
The Rockies is actually horrifically bad.
Okay. All right.
No, that was saying it's like the Rockies
It is-
horrific.
Colorado Rockies with 0 pitching WAR. White Sox with 0.1, Braves with 0.2, and Baltimore with 0.4. So like
Well, the Braves is better.
the Braves will
They have
go.
Schwellenbach's better than any of them. Anyone?
The White Sox, I actually kind of like their starting pitching. Like some of their.
Well,
young
we did
guys.
too to start the year. We are like, oh wow, maybe they can pitch, and then every start since those
Here's
first
the thing.
3 has been horrific.
Do you like young 25-year-olds that have potential, or 35-year-olds that should be retired?
That is fair. No,
I'm taking the young guys, so I like the White Sox over Baltimore. So now it's Colorado or Baltimore, and
the problem is this one's so hard because it's like the Rockies staff.
is bad.
The problem is they play at Coors, so it's hard to be like, oh, what would Baltimore be doing Coors? But their staff is bad. Like it is.
but so is Baltimore's.
They at least have like
They have
Charlie Morton.
Charlie Moore should be in a retirement home.
They at least have him though. I'd rather have him.
Should never have
Okay, they
come
have-
to the
okay, hold on.
U.S.
Hold on. They have Zach Eflin.
Eflin's on the IL.
That's right.
So is Rodriguez. It has been their youngest pitcher, I think, that's like somewhat has major league experience, like Dean Kremer.
Ooh.
So
Still, I think I'd rather take Dean Kremer than anybody on
I like Freeland. Freeland's all right.
Kyle
Like, I won't
Freeland
hate on
in the Big
Freeland.
25.
I'm not going to hate on
Just because he
Freeland.
carved the Cubs in 2018, so you have to have respect for him because of that wild card game. Because I know
would
that's
take
why you respect him
I would
at all.
take Freeland over Dean Kremer.
That's true.
I don't think
but
that's
it's
like a crazy take.
Okay, we're arguing the ace of the two worst staffs in baseball. So
Herman Marquez.
I'm selling. No, Marquez is bad. He's not even like Herman Marquez, because he was always like he would somehow survive like with a 3.8 in the past. He'd be like he pitched at Coors, but he only has a 3.8. So away from Coors, he's actually a real pitcher. Not anymore. I'm selling this take. I can't.
Here,
The Rockies
really,
is worse.
hang on. I'm looking at ERA. Baltimore has a 5.45 ERA. Rockies have a 4.93. Does that change?
Is that team though? Because like, or is
That
it
is
just starters?
team.
Because that might include bullpen.
It is including bullpen.
Okay, so then you can't really.
But Baltimore's expected FIP is 4.55. Colorado's is 4.33.
I'm saying I'm sticking with the Orioles. I'm not giving the Rockies credit. The staff is bad.
Baltimore and Colorado have the lowest Ks per 9 in the league.
Okay, I'm selling. Take your pick. We got to get moving on to the next one.
I don't want to buy. I don't like guys that should be in retirement homes pitching.
He likes Kyle Freeland though.
Next one.
Next one, last one. Buy one of these, sell the other, right? So you're buying one,
half.
selling the other. Padres pitching and Mets pitching. Buy one, sell one.
This is easy.
It's like, okay,
Do you want?
this
you make,
one's hard.
Can you make the Mets argument? Because I can't. I want to just.
They
tell
have
you
the
right now.
lowest staff ERA in baseball. Like it's
Yeah, and they have the highest WAR for it. But I'm just saying, can you make? the
it's
Mets
hard
argument?
to project though. Like they're getting it from guys where it's like
Here, you do the Mets argument. I'll do the Padres argument,
okay.
and that's how we'll end the show. I can go first because I have like,
Yeah.
the Padres. Padres are third in WAR, so and Mets are first, based on Fangraphs. But the Padres have Nick Pivetta, who's been really good this year. Yu Darvish, who will come back and be a decent 4. And I know I just hate on guys that should be in retirement homes, but like a guy that's their 4 pitcher is different than the Baltimore having their 2 and 3 be that old. So that's why that's different. Dylan Cease and man, I love this guy and I can't think of his name. This Padres guy from the Yankees for Soto.
Michael King.
Michael King. They have those 4, and then Luis Vasquez has been all right. So there's their 5 when Darvish is healthy.
Okay, you didn't pull it up, dude. The FIPS are insane.
For the Mets.
For the Mets. This
yeah,
is
I
this
see
is
it.
absurd.
It's 2.74.
The team 2.74 is insane. But just Tyler McGill 2.18, Clay Holmes 2.13, David Peterson 3.03, Kodai Senga 2.89, Griffin Canning 3.30, and Jose Butto 2.68. That is their FIPS.
I know
That
they've
is
been good.
insane.
But
See, it's like this is one where it's like, do you go off what you know? Because like this is the same thing as like when we were doing power rankings last week, and I put the Dodgers at 4. It's like, yes, I know the Dodgers are probably better than the Giants, but they're not.
But we're
and
also
Yankees, but they're not exactly playing at it like this exact moment in time. But I know they're probably going to end up being the best team in baseball when
here's the thing.
when it's said and done.
We're also it's pitching, so it's bullpen as well. I can name you one Mets reliever, and it's their closer. Because, like, I watched the Mets-Phillies game go to extras. The guy that closed out the Mets game yesterday, or pitched in the 10th, I've never heard of, and I know a lot of names.
You don't know.
And I don't know who closed out.
Paul Blackburn? Stop.
Yeah, but I've
You
never.
don't know Paul Blackburn?
I know who he is. I'm saying the guy that
Okay, he's in
pitched
there
in the
later.
10th inning for the Mets yesterday. I've never heard of.
You don't know.
Compared to the Padres, who have Jeremiah Estrada, who's been like crazy since last year, Jose Suarez, who has been really good since he's came back to America, and Jason Adam since he left the Cubs. I said Robert Suarez.
You didn't. You said.
You said something with a J. You said Jay Suarez or
Oh.
something like that.
Yeah, you didn't.
Sorry.
Jose Suarez.
Jose Suarez.
You said Robert
And-
Suarez is the.
And then
Okay,
even
Robert
then-
Suarez is the elite Padres closer. So we all know because you said Jose. I'm like,
Are you guys including starting pitchers?
We did.
It's
This is
Okay.
Now
pitching.
we're talking bullpen.
Yeah.
And then as well, they have a side armor that looks pretty decent. He gets
Didn't
ground
the Cubs try to
balls
trade
and
for him?
stuff. No, that's Cosgrove you're thinking of, which we did, but no,
Where's he
they have a
been? Where's he
righty,
not been?
triple A, I don't know. But they have a side
You
armor
could use any relief help needed. so.
that his gets ground balls and stuff. Like the Padres.
Okay,
bullpen
so do you
looks-
not know who Ryan Stanek is?
Okay. I
Do you not know
Ryan Stanek.
who AJ Minter is?
He's on the IL, I
Okay,
believe.
but he's still like. And then Jose Budo, who's been insane. So
Here, let me just pull up who pitched in the 10th inning yesterday for them, really quick, and you'll agree with me.
Jose Azocar is on the Mets roster.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But here's Danny Young pitched for the Mets yesterday from the bullpen. Never heard of him.
Sounds like a dog.
And the guy who pitched the 10th for the Mets was Max Kranick. I've never heard of that name before.
Hey, you got outs though. So
I've heard of Brazoban before, only due to the fact that it was a trade from the Marlins last year. So I know him just because it was a trade. But like I've never heard of Danny Young, never heard of Max Kranick. So like
if it includes
and then
bullpen,
let
it's
me-
got to be the Padres. It's just like
let me
they
just
are
go
the best
to
staff
Padres,
in baseball so far.
Who Padres threw yesterday in their loss. So that means they threw not even their best guys. They threw Alex Jacob, which is the side armor. Adrian Morahone. I've heard that name because he was like a top guy, prospect and stuff. And then Yuki Matsui were the guys they threw.
I think it's the Padres.
And Kyle Hart has been pitching for the Darvish spot, and he's been all right.
Because it's very hard to say that the Mets are going to keep this absurd.
He has 6 ERA. Never mind. Take that back. But, I mean,
Yeah, I'm going to buy the Padres pitching, sell the Mets.
I'm going to buy Padres pitching, sell the Mets.
It's hard. It's just like the Mets. It's hard to project that the Mets stay consistent, but they have been the best staff in baseball so far. So
They just have looked good.
Kodai Senga's like been insane. He's a 0.7 ERA. So
Yeah, and then just Brendan went off his ticker. We can go off ours. Mets have best record in baseball after the walk-off yesterday, Starting Marte.
they walked. So was
They
it
walked
the
off
Phillies?
Philly, yeah. And then from Classroom to MLB, last year, A's first baseman, Kurtz, was
Nick-
in college.
Nick Kurtz. Nick Kurtz.
He
Pronounced
was
his
in
age.
college, and last year at this time, now he's already got a RBI single last night in his MLB debut, showing off his tools already. PCA drives in 4 Dodger sweep. We already talked about that. Astros are considering to play Cam Smith in center field, by the way.
What?
And if you don't know who Cam Smith is, he was the guy that was in the Kyle Tucker trade. He's doing all right. Like, now he's figuring it out. And you know what the Cubs need right now? Third baseman. Cam Smith could play third.
Okay, but we have the NL MVP on the roster. I don't care about Cam Smith. We have the NL MVP in right field.
Keep talking for 1 sec while I pull up the
They are-
third base war.
I know. Okay, yes. Devon, would you want an okay third baseman or the NL MVP?
I know, but like it is pitiful to watch. We have had when Nicky Lopez starts, when it's probably tomorrow, by the way. That will be 17 different starting third basemen since 2022 for the Cubs.
He checked it.
17.
I was able to name. Hey, I was able.
18 actually. PJ Higgins, I texted you this morning, started 2 times at third.
Wait, it was 14. It was 14 a couple nights ago.
It was 14. Well, it was 14, and then we had Lopez, PJ Higgins, so
That's
16.
I was
16.
able to name 12 of the 16. By the way, I was very
16
impressed
guys have started at third base for the Cubs since 2022. That is 4 years. So that averages.
That's
at
more than the
4.
Pirates.
Yeah,
Wow.
Well, you have Cabrian Hayes, but he sucks.
he sucks.
But
But he's still there.
I like Cabrian Hayes because he's a platinum glove defender, but he cannot hit a baseball. He couldn't hit the side of a barn.
He got an RBI last
From
time.
half a foot
So.
away.
Good job.
He couldn't hit water if he thought it would.
Good job. He had an RBI.
But yeah, okay, I get it, but we can only complain about the Cam Smith trade is if Jed Hoyer doesn't bring back Tucker. If he brings back Tucker, I do not
I know,
care because
but
Tucker's
I'm
about to
just-
go win the
I'm just saying.
the NL MVP this year.
I'm
I
just
don't
saying
care.
right now. Just saying. We need a third baseman. Cam Smith's looking better, and
we
he's
have
going to play
Kyle
center.
Tucker.
They need to extend him. Okay, that's it.
But that is all. For
I might be talking tomorrow when
yeah,
we do the
I
draft.
think I think we've rescinded your suspension off Brendan's show.
Yeah, we'll think about it.
I'm excited. I hope Genty goes to the Bears. That's what I want to see.
The NFL draft is tonight, so go watch that. We will have Devon, our producer Brendan, will all be on camera tomorrow, or
I'll be on
hopefully-
camera?
yes, you get some-
Maybe.
No,
Maybe.
no, he's co-host.
Maybe.
I think that I'm the co-host. I'm allowing him to be on camera. Okay, it's your show, and it's up to Brendan. We might be on camera.
So-
Devon will be speaking.
As long as Shador doesn't go to the Steelers, she'll be on camera.
Devon will get to speak tomorrow. See us tomorrow. We don't have a time yet,
But tomorrow morning, be ready for a draft recap with the three of us, similar to our March Madness stuff that we did with all three of us earlier, like about a month ago. Be ready for that tomorrow. This was Towing the Rubber. We will see you next